This is a story about people you knew, people you grew up with, the kids who hung around the band room at school or at the parties out on the edge of town, the ones who wanted to make music and dreamed of doing it in the spotlight. Most of them had their moments, and then moments moved on. This is one such story, a common every band story.
All across the country in your town, USA.
We were from a small town in a forgotten corner of a busy state, halfway roughly between New York and Boston, but pretty much off the beaten track. Forgotten, hell, never known is really probably more accurate. The roads to all the major cities bypassed us, but somehow our town had an outsized amount of musical talent. Lots of bands. Every weekend there's 4, 5, 6 bars with bands playing till 2 in the morning and dancing to classic rock or country or top 40. And all of us as teenagers played in those places to kind of cut our teeth as young musicians. I think for us musically, the world changed in that summer of '78 when that first Van Halen record was blasting out of every car stereo on the streets of Plainfield. It was life-changing, the music of our teenage years. And then here comes AC/DC and the first Ozzy Osbourne solo album. And we kind of wanted in on that scene. You know, our coming of age as high schoolers was to gravitate towards that heavy sound and that energy and all. So I guess it was by the fall of 1984, we started jamming on our own songs in Matt's basement, and that was the birth of Nor'easter. And the bass was kind of an important thing to us because we were hearing bass players playing as solo instruments, and we wanted that to be part of our sound. And we had this cat who could play all this crazy bass, but we needed a singer. And I had this hiking buddy from Massachusetts with this really cool, unique voice.
I was never a musical kid. I grew up a sports child and I loved the outdoors, loved hiking. Drew and I met as kids, 12, 13-year-old kids in the White Mountains hiking. As we got a little bit older and could drive on our own without our parents having to get us places, I would sing along in the car to whatever the musical influence was at the time, Whitesnake, Ozzy, Deep Purple. And Drew heard me singing in the car and offered the proposition of just coming down to have a fun jam with a couple of friends of his. We'd like you to just sing with us and we'll have some fun. Little did I know that was my audition. So when I got to the, quote, jam session, it was really a few guys, Drew, Matt Booley playing drums, a bass player, Doug Fox, who then said, yeah, we were looking for a singer for this band we're putting together and we want it to be you. I had never done that before in my life, so it was a little out of my comfort zone. Drew and Matt knew Paul, and we, quote, interviewed him at one point by saying, hey, we would really like to replace our bass player, and we'd like it to be you. Are you in? That was his interview and his audition.
I had gone to see them at a party one afternoon or one evening, just to check them out, see what they were doing. Basically, I was approached and asked, would you like to play with Nor'easter? We need a bass player. If you want to do it, you're in. My mom and dad were gracious enough to give us a rehearsal space, which happened to be in their home, and a bedroom that I used to live in for a while. It was an original band. All the other bands, basically, I was playing music and kind of copying everything else, where with Nor'easter, we were actually making music.
So we'd been working hard with Paul on our own set of our own songs, and we're eager for our first big show as an all-original band, our coming out party. And my girlfriend at the time was working in downtown Moosup and was part of this planning committee for this local municipal festival that they wanted to have, sort of like Celebrate Moosup. And she wanted to get us a gig, and she was charming, and she came through. So our first fully original gig, open to the world, with little kids tumbling, the big vocal group from the local Catholic church, all kinds of family-friendly activities, and us.
Yeah!
I don't know if it was just because the indoor places weren't booking original music, or if we started to build a reputation of being a little bit of a loud kind of party band. We had a following of people that really were into the band, that loved the music that we were making. So we were never actually booked indoors. Everything was an outdoor gig. Moosup Pond was really the launching point. I got to sing with my head bandaged after being in an auto accident that morning. And halfway through the show, the police showed up. There was a parking issue with so many people being parked, and they needed them to move their cars. The folks didn't move their cars, so there were 4 town police and 8 state police that came back to basically clear everybody out. So we became really the band that was notorious for being shut down by the police. And when the police would get word that we were playing somewhere, we really expected them to be there.
If they knew about Moosup Pond, that they might not have scheduled us for a noontime set, a scant 50-yard walk from the local liquor store, but that's how it went down. And yeah, our friends and fans were eager to see the new lineup, the all-original set, and yeah, pound some beers by noontime too.
The May Day gig was extraordinary, to say the least. It was my first time out with an original band to put something together that nobody had heard or seen live. It was a party crowd by all means. The place was hopping. There was a lot going on. We got up there and we kicked it. The gentleman who was sponsoring the festival had approached the soundboard and mentioned that this wasn't what he thought it was going to be and was basically going to pull the plug. At which time my dad stepped up graciously and said that unless you got an awful lot of money, don't be touching any power cords.
Like a fallen angel. Hand upon her shoulder, a favor for a friend. Time, a place, a
So coming off our gig at Moosup, the band was super excited, the fans were excited, and we had booked our first indoor gig a week later. Went home to Massachusetts and came down with laryngitis. I could not sing. Found out later on in life that I had undiagnosed asthma. The show couldn't go on.
I just didn't want to do a show without Chris. He was the voice of Nor'easter. Everything we'd been working for was this all original set. It wouldn't be Nor'easter any more than it would be playing without Matt. But Paul and Matt felt, understandably, like they needed to honor the gig. So they pulled together a great pickup band in a couple of days' time, and they did the show, and it was a smashing success, and off they went.
We had a lot of our fans coming, and we didn't want to disappoint them no matter what it was. Matt and I put this band together in a matter of a couple hours, and we had no idea what we were going to play. None of us at all really played together in any kind of a formal arrangement, and we pulled it off. They booked us for like the next 3 weekends, which was kind of impressive for us, as never having done that before. And that band ended up taking off for almost 2.5 years. And we were playing steadily. So it was when you're 19, 20 years old and you're actually getting paid to play music that you really didn't work on, it's hard to say no to money in your pocket as a struggling musician.
For the three of us founding members, we just kind of ran out of steam. We'd been through 3 bass players and so much work and no place to go without money, the notoriety of being the cops' favorite band. Matt was going to find out soon that he was going to be a dad and a husband, and so that kind of put an end to him traveling anywhere. And of course, we're all scraping the bottoms of our pockets just to put gas in our vehicles, let alone buy the gear that we would have needed to get out on the road and really go after it. So I guess in hindsight, maybe it was just easier to let it go.
I tried to hook up with a couple of bands after Nor'easter, one locally in Connecticut, but I was still making the hour and 45-minute drive. And it just wasn't the same without Paul, Drew, Matt. It wasn't the same vibe because we felt just so close together as friends, not just bandmates. It wasn't a job or it wasn't a side gig. It was really 4 friends together making music, which was just special. What a ride.
What a ride.
What a ride. What a ride.
Listen to the Plainfield Town Police. It's called Rock Time in Your Town. I need y'all to sing along though. The words are really easy. Let me see your hand.
While they didn't realize it that day, Nor'easter had played its final show. There would be other bands, other plans, and other destinies. 2 years after May Day in Moosop, Matt, Chris, and Andrew went into a friend's basement recording studio and preserved their songs. Without any record label support, they managed to make a demo-quality recording, mostly for themselves, before they ran out of time and money. And life flowed on. Their friend Pat kept the master tapes and brought them along when his family moved to South Carolina. During a September 2002 visit, he and Andrew transferred the recordings into a digital studio with hopes of at least properly producing an album. Tragically, Matt passed away 10 days later, and Nor'easter's musical legacy again lay dormant, embedded in data discs in Andrew's uninsulated attic for nearly 2 decades. Thanks to some miraculous luck and the diligence and skill of engineer Dustin Delage, restoring that recording became a pandemic project. After more than 3 decades, calm before the storm finally arrived in the summer of 2022. During the recording restoration, a previously unseen videotape of Nor'easter's final performance was found in a friend's basement, with mold growing on it, but otherwise intact. The project reconnected Nor'easter's 3 surviving members for the first time in person since May Day, 35 years earlier. The film opens a window into a common story rarely told. The magic and mystery of playing music together often creates bonds like friends, like family, and in some ways, more than either. Sooner or later, most let go and move on, often with little but precious memories to keep.
We're lucky. We have a couple of moments from a time capsule. One that most of those other bands of our era probably didn't get to capture. But by sharing our story, maybe in some way we help honor theirs too. It's an every band story.
We've lost our drummer along the way, Matt Booley, and we miss him dearly. This puts some final closure on our Nor'easter project, and I think Matt would certainly be proud, and hopefully he is looking down, smiling.
Not really. I just
What do you think, Carlos? Yeah,
stage. Is there sound on that? Testing.
Rock time in your town. Rock time.